Hi, this is Mphangela. I'm architect and project manager. Homebuild Zambia is an educational platform for first-time home builders. And we're going through a series on what you can expect from the home build journey. In part one, we looked at you deciding whether building is right for you. And that's really important before you start the journey because it's quite an investment in terms of time and your money. In part two, we're looking at things to consider as you purchase your plot. So in part one, we did mention that one of the things that you need to have is a plot. But what can you consider so that you can make sure the plot that you have will be the right one for you? And the first step is really to think about what is it that you want, what type of home that you want. And going in with that general idea of what you want will actually help you decide whether the plot that you're seeking to buy is the right one. So do you need space for the future? So if you're deciding to build in phases and maybe you want a smaller house for now, and then later when you have more money, you want to extend your house, will the plot allow you to do that? Do you need a large garden, or would you want to do farming activity on your plot as well? So all of these things need to be considered. So know exactly what it is that you want. Secondly, you want to make sure that you're able to access the plot and access it well. If the area that you're considering will be developed in future, will you still be able to have the access that you have right now? This is especially important to consider on plots in areas that are not yet developed. Thirdly, you want to consider whether you have access to services. And when I say services, I mean water and electricity, and obviously how you are going to drain your sewer. So these are quite important. If you're in an area where there are several smaller plots, find out whether there's the opportunity for you to share the services such as your septic tank and soakaway and your borehole. There are minimum requirements needed in terms of the distance from a borehole to a septic tank and soakaway. And many times you do find that the smaller plots don't allow you to get the minimum. And in future, that could mean that your water gets contaminated. So make sure you consider that as well. Then finally, you want to consider who are your neighbors. Are you happy in that area? Because you're not living in isolation. You're going to be in a community. So is this community that you want to be a part of? And if it's possible, find out who your neighbors are. Find out if this is the place where you want to be for a long period of time. An Architect and a DJ Build a Home podcast has been brought to you by Emote Projects Limited. The show is hosted by Kalenga, he's the DJ, and me, Mphangela, I'm the architect. Media by Monkey Business Agency. Music by Bless the Creative.